In this lesson, we're going to learn how to write equations of lines. This is the fourth in a four-part series on this topic. In this video, we're going to focus on how to write the point-slope form of a line when given the slope and a point, or when given 2 points. Let's begin with a reminder of what point-slope form is. The point-slope form is a way to write a line when you have a point, and it can be any point on the line, and the slope. The formula that we use is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. M represents the slope, and x1, y1 is the point on the line. In our first example, we want to write the equation of a line whose slope is 2/3 and that passes through the point 9, 2. Because we're writing our equation in point-slope form, we need to use the equation y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. That means we need the slope and 1 point that's on the line. The slope is given to us in the problem, 2/3, or 2/3. A point is also given to us. That point is 9, 2. We label the point x1, y1, and now substitute the values into the equation. Y minus y1 is y minus 2 equals m, 2/3, times, in parentheses, x minus x1, which is x minus 9. This is the equation written in point-slope form. There's no further work to do. Here's an example for you to try. Can you write the equation of a line whose slope is -1/2 and that passes through the point 8, -1? Write the equation in point-slope form. Remember, since we're using point-slope form, we want to use the equation y minus y1 equals m times, in parentheses, x minus x1. You'll need to identify the slope and a point in the problem. Please pause the video here and come back when you're ready to check your answer. Let's see how you did. The slope is given to us in the problem as -1/2, or -1/2. The point is 8, -1. We label the point x1, y1, and then substitute into the formula y minus y1, y minus -1, equals m, -1/2, times x minus x1, x minus 8. We do have a double negative on the left-hand side, y minus -1, and since a double negative becomes a positive, we'll rewrite our final answer as y plus 1 equals -1/2 times x minus 8. This is the equation in point-slope form, and there's no further work to do. In our next example, we want to write the equation of a line that passes through the points 6, -1 and 1, 4. Write the equation in point-slope form. To write the equation in point-slope form, we need 2 things, the slope and a point. I look at the problem and I notice that they did not give me the slope this time, but they did give me 2 points, so I'm going to have to calculate the slope. We use the slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and we label our 2 points, x1, y1, and x2, y2. We substitute the values into the slope formula to determine what the slope of the line is. The slope is -1. Now we need a point. We have 2 points to choose from, and it doesn't matter which one you choose. Let's suppose we choose the point 1, 4. If we do that, we'll label the point x1, y1, and then use the formula y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. We substitute the values in. Y minus y1 is 4, equals m, -1, times, in parentheses, x minus 1. I do have a -1 in front of the parentheses, and in mathematics, if I have a -1, I can write that simply as a negative. So in this case, my equation in point-slope form will be y minus 4 equals negative, in parentheses, x minus 1. Now when I write an equation in point-slope form, I'm allowed to choose any point on the line that I want. I may have chosen 1, 4, but suppose instead I wanted to choose 6, -1. That's a point on the line also. If I had done that, I would have labeled the 6, -1 as x1, y1, and then I would have written my formula down. When I do the substitution, I would have y minus -1 equals -1, parentheses, x minus 6. Again, I would simplify the equation. I have the double negative on the left and the -1 in front of the parentheses. That leaves me with y plus 1 equals negative times x minus 6. Although this equation looks very different than the first equation that I came up with, it's important to remember that they are equivalent equations, and they both represent the same line. The next exercise is for you to try. Please write the equation of a line that passes through the points 2, 1 and -4, -8. Write your equation in point-slope form. Please pause the video here and come back when you're ready to check your answer. Let's see how you did. We need to identify the slope and a point in order to use the formula. We were not given the slope in the problem, so we have to label our points x1, y1 and x2, y2. We use the slope formula and calculate the slope to be 3 over 2. We then need to choose one of the 2 points. You could choose either point, and I'll show you what both equations look like. Let's start with the point 2, 1. We label that point x1, y1, and then substitute the values into the formula. Y minus y1 is y minus 1, equals m, 3 over 2, times, in parentheses, x, minus x1, which is minus 2. This is my equation in point-slope form, and there's no further work to do. But once again, in point-slope form, I'm allowed to choose any point on the line, and it's possible that you may have chosen the point -4, -8, which is perfectly fine to do. If you did that, we would label the point -4, -8 as x1, y1, and then we would substitute into the formula y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Y minus y1 would be y minus -8 equals m, 3 over 2, times, in parentheses, x minus x1, x minus -4. We do have double negatives on both sides. Y minus -8 will become y plus 8, and x minus -4 will become x plus 4. This is the equation of the line written in point-slope form, and either version of this equation is sufficient. Both of them, although they look different, are equations that represent the line passing through the 2 given points. This is everything you need to know to write equations of lines in point-slope form. You can learn more about writing equations of lines by watching the other parts of this video series. You can also learn more about writing equations and linear functions in general in Mr. Dorey's Algebra Handbook, available at www.doreypublications.com.